black-throated finch is a small native bird known for a distinctive black bib beneath its beak, and the southern subspecies has a white rump. The southern subspecies is found in the Townsville region and in the Brigalow Belt and Desert Uplands bioregions. It's also found near Bravus Mining and Resources' Carmichael Mine. Carmichael is a thermal coal mine in Queensland's North Galilee Basin, approximately 160 kilometres northwest of the town of Clermont, producing in the order of 10 million tonnes of high-quality coal for export every year. The mine has some of the strictest environmental conditions ever imposed on a mining project in Australia. As part of those comprehensive state and Commonwealth approvals for the mine, Bravus undertook 7 years of expert ecological studies to develop a management plan to monitor, understand, and ultimately protect the population of local black-throated finches and their habitat. In 2020, Bravus added to this best practice species management approach by commissioning E2M to deliver a supporting 5-year-long research program. Using technology-driven ecology, the team is unlocking new scientific insights into this fascinating and beautiful native bird.
So the black-throated finch, it's a species of grass finch. It's native to North Queensland and it used to occur down to far northern New South Wales. Since European settlement, the range of the species has contracted, and currently the further south population is it's north of the Tropic of Capricorn. So there's currently 2 main populations left. There's one in the Desert Uplands region of Queensland, and there's another centre of population around the Townsville area.
You'd say, the birds used to occur in New South Wales. They haven't been seen there for a long time. They used to occur in around the Brisbane area. No one really knows the exact reasons for their decline. Obviously, a key one, probably, degradation of their habitat through, agriculture. In order to try to, stop the species declining, we can maintain a population of these birds. It's really important to know all these questions around, what their diet is, what are the key parts of their habitat, why do they live in certain areas. So the Black-throated Finch Research Project is a 5-year project for the Carmichael coal mine that E2M is about 2.5 years into. That provided an opportunity. Fortunately, Bravus gave us permission to do the PhD on the back of that, specifically looking at the ecology of the black-throated finch in the Desert Uplands region. The project has key aims determining the home range and movements of that population of birds in the project area. Why they're doing it is because there was a large population of black-throated finch in the project area, and obviously there was a lot of concern around the project's impacts on the finch.
It is a research program basically monitoring and gathering information on the population that is present out in this area. It's one of the 2 stronghold populations. So we're looking at a number of different features to do with the black-throated finch, their habitat, their ecology, their feeding, and just gathering as much information as we can for the species. So when we come out here, there's a number of different survey methodology and activities that we're undertaking. We usually have multiple teams out in the field at one time. We do mist netting, where we colour band birds and put radio trackers on them. That helps with our population data and working out home ranges. We do 1 kilometre bird transects, surveying for the black-throated finch and then also recording all the other bird species. We do vegetation surveys within those 1 kilometre transects to try and quantify the vegetation and changes over time with fire management as well. We do water source watches, trying to ID as many of the colour-banded birds as possible so that we can understand how they're moving across the site.
So these are very small birds, obviously little tiny finches and little tiny microtransmitters, and we have these arrays set up around locations where they're known to occur.
We decided to use the bioacoustic recorders as well because I guess this emerging sort of technology over the last little while in our area that allows us to automatically detect whether a species is in that area. So we can leave these devices out for 365 days a year. So it gives us that constant presence on the site effectively.
So if you were to put all of the data we're going to get end to end, it ends up being over a decade of audio data. They record all sound in the environment. A tree falling in the forest, we can hear that. They do make a sound. So it's terabytes and terabytes of audio data. It's impossible to manually screen through. The key challenge for that is developing an automated system to reliably detect the calls in the data so we can use that for things like species detection. Should we want to put these recorders in remote areas or that are poorly surveyed? At E2M, we're using machine learning techniques to do this automatic call recognition. So currently machine learning is the gold standard of call detection in audio data. There is a downside that you need a lot of training data in order to be able to train a robust model to find the calls. And therein lies one of E2M's key strengths, is that it's not just a data science exercise, it also needs a strong ecological knowledge and understanding of what the sounds are in the landscape to be able to accurately train the model, and then processing that so we can rectify where the BTF are in space and time.
So other things that we do, we just do a series of vegetation assessments where we're aiming to sort of identify the key habitat characteristics, areas that the black-throated finch like. We'll sort of record all these vegetation characteristics such as canopy height, canopy cover, shrub species, ground cover percentage and that as well.
Currently we're finding that they're favouring a couple of species in particular to construct their nests. So they make grass nests, and the nests are actually in multiple layers. I imagine a human would do the same. They line their nests with softer grasses, so like the fluffy seed heads of grasses where you can see them fly in from hundreds of metres away with these fluffy seed heads.
All of that process was developed by E2M, so E2M took it on. John has led those two particular projects. Technology-driven ecology is everything at E2M. We're constantly finding ways to innovate and add value to our clients.
We know that the work that we're doing is quality and will have an impact on projects and approvals.
2.5 years into that now. There's still a lot of work to do, but we're collecting huge amounts of data, which is very exciting. Yeah, this is something that we are looking at. Just has really good applications for monitoring. It's equally applicable to any other bird species. It's also used a lot with frogs as well. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's interesting and exciting.
So this machine learning model and tools that we have developed can now be repurposed in other environments for other target species.